A massive thank you to Martin, Lyle, MC, Jack and Waffle God for subscribing to the channel. If you want to be featured in these clips, make sure you subscribe down below. Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 2 of Season 2 of our F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Yesterday we're here back ready for the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out yesterday's season opener, obviously from Bahrain, I would definitely recommend going back and checking it out. A massive thank you for the continued support on this series, of course, as well. You know, it has been absolutely incredible over the first couple of videos from this series. You can see, though, in terms of the sort of timings and everything, we've got a lot going on as we head towards the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, a huge wait between Bahrain and Spain here on F1 2021, of course, until we get the new tracks put in place. So fingers crossed, I think we've got quite a few upgrades in the works, actually, as we head into this Grand Prix. Only actually the 2 at the moment, so fingers crossed they'll both come in. I think we can try and put another couple of upgrades on the car as well. We've got the front wing end plates. They should be able to go on, hopefully, before Spain. So fingers crossed we'll get those on the car as well. So let's head towards the Spanish Grand Prix then. Obviously got a lot of activities going on as well behind the scenes there. And, you know, we need to continue trying to build up the R&D points as well, of course, there. We're making good money, though, week in, week out as well. So the pistons have gone on. The gearbox reliability testing has gone on as well. And then, we've also got season break.
Increase our acclaim, more potential partners become willing to work with us. We can now approach an additional sponsor from the corporate tab.
Wonderful. So now we can get an extra sponsor on the car as well. I have added on now all the sponsors as well as we head into this weekend there. So let's see what sort of team is going to be a good one to go with. I think a lot of these teams are expecting quite a lot from us. Who do we want to go with? Achieve and hold first position for 3 laps. What on earth do they think we are at this early stage of the game? I'll have a look through and then get back to you. So I think we'll go then with PSD, answering these 4 questions during a race weekend there. Means we get quite a good gold bonus there and weekly bonus as well. So, we've already got them on the team. Well done, Matt. So we will go with score points in the team directly above you in the vehicle performance chart. Achieve a podium. No chance of that at the moment. Complete a clean race. Achieve a top 14 finish during the race. That should be doable most weeks as well. So we'll go with Vacanzero ready for this weekend. Let's head through the season break then, of course, and try and get towards this Grand Prix. Can we get any more upgrades on the car as well before we head into this weekend? There's a lot of micromanagement going on here on F1 2021. We'll try and go with another aero upgrade if possible. 1,250. Yeah, we'll go with the rear wing upper flap as well. That should be ready for Baku in a couple of weeks' time. But is the front wing end plate going to go on? We've got a marketing department. We've got so much stuff.
Please.
Right, so I need to speak to you about recent message from IT and security. It appears we are under threat from hackers and malicious software. Whilst our systems are all up to date, they should just be put some time into additional training to ensure all our teams know how to reduce the risks of unauthorized access. So it costs 20 grand, we get 500 resource points, or we just lose 500 resource points, which we can't actually do at the moment because I haven't got enough points. So I guess we're going to have to go with that.
I appreciate you taking the time to help out.
So, we've been hacked as a Formula 1 team. Absolutely love that. Gives us a few more R&D points, though. Always looking at the positives here on F1 at 2021. We can get the status upgrade as well. That should be done for Monaco. And I don't think there's going to be anything else we can do. Oh, yeah, we can do it with the control electronics improved material. So, busy before we head to Spain. Now will we get that front wing end plate upgrade on the car? Yes, we will. So that's good to see as well. All the weekly resources going on, and we're ready.
Without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
So look at that then. That's brought us above Alpine in the performance chart there with another 3 upgrades in the works. So you can see how much performance the likes of Red Bull, Aston Martin and Alpine lost over the course of the winter there. Us and Williams were the only teams that didn't lose any performance from last year. But yeah, now we're in the mix with Alpine as well heading into the weekend. Let's dive in finally to the Spanish Grand Prix. heading into the Spanish Grand Prix free practice session. I'm hoping with all the upgrades we're bringing to the car at the moment, the aerodynamics is looking actually rather decent on our wagon now. So fingers crossed this weekend, you know, sort of this Monaco, the next couple of races coming up, very much downforce dependent. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll be quick. Right, in the final corner though, we've absolutely nailed this final lap of the race practice drive right there. 1.3 seconds up, that's going to be purple. Coming towards the end of our tyre wear programme as well, another easy purple score. Feeling good this weekend. And last but not least, onto our ERS management test. This one normally isn't too difficult. Right in the final corner, ERS management programme all done and dusted. Let's hope we can maintain this momentum into quali. Right, qualifying day then for the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's see what we can muster up this weekend. Of course, don't want the same issues as we had last time round in Bahrain. We definitely need to be making it through into Q2, especially if we want the new sponsor bonus. But yeah, don't want to use too many sets of tyres either. It's a tricky balance. Fingers crossed this weekend we can be a bit quicker. Heading down through the final sector of this first lap. It hasn't felt too bad at all. A couple of small mistakes here and there. Certainly a few more tenths on the table. But Hamilton sets a 13.2 as a very, very good benchmark. Out of the final corner, though, we do a 15.5. Slower than Lundgaard, about half a second off our teammate. So definitely need to find a bit more here. We just can't seem to get everything out of the car over one lap. Right, we're not going to do what we did last weekend and leave it all to chance right at the end of the session.
We've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
We're just going to head straight back out there and see if we can try and find another few tenths on this second lap. Schwartzman should be quick enough to go through. So I think if, yeah, we can find about half a second, which should be safe for Q2, without having to use our final set of tyres. They're really chucking in through turn 1 and turn 2. The car's so much more stable over the curbing now, and you can already see a 1/10.5 found through the first sector of the lap there. That's exactly what we needed. Clipping the grass on the inside through turn 4. And lucky to keep it out of the wall as we lunge through the final couple of corners on our second attempt on these tyres. We're definitely going to be up by just a little bit, but it is nowhere near enough as we head through the final couple of corners there. A bit of a mistake through the final turn. As we head down towards the line, it's going to be another couple of tenths there. It brings us up into P16, but we're still slower than Valtteri Bottas at the moment. We're going to have to use our third set of tyres here just to get into Q2. 30 seconds left in the session then, and we are getting ready to go for our final lap here of Q1. Down in the drop zone at the moment, so we definitely need to find a bit more time there, as Bottas just in front, Latifi right behind us. Not too sure which car it is that's knocked us down. I think it is one of the Alfa Romeos. But yeah, we need to be brave on this final lap. Put it all on the line once more. They're really tidy run through the first couple of turns. A little bit of understeer out through turn 3. That's already put us about a 10th down.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
And that can make things spicy as we get ready for Q2. Ooh, a bit of a wobble on the exit of turn 5. So we don't want to over push the car. We don't want to try and chase a time that we just can't seem to find in this session. Just need a couple of tenths. There's a big old slide at the bottom of the hill. That's really unsettled us. From turn 9. That was a lot better than our previous run. Still about another 10th up at the moment. That was a bit better through chicane. Through the hairpin even. So difficult to try and get the car hooked up at the moment. Had so much confidence in free practice, but that is just all eroded on this qualifying run through the final chicane there. That wasn't too bad. 3 tenths up as we head through the final corner. 4 tenths up as we get towards the line. Is it going to be enough for Q2? P17. Why can't we get it done over one lap? That is so frustrating right at the end of the session there. How much did we miss out by, what's that, less than half a tenth to Valtteri Bottas at the end of Q1 there. But Schwartzman still, yeah, another 3 tenths clear of us. So we did find the pace to get close to his first time. But Schwartzman just had so much more left in the car later on in the session there. And like I said, I've upped the AI for Season 2 here. And they do definitely seem to be getting everything out of it over one lap pace there. Lundgaard makes it through into Q2. Ocon doesn't though. Esteban Ocon out in Q1 as well there. But P17 on the grid for the Spanish Grand Prix didn't work out too badly for us at Bahrain. Let's get into it.
Welcome along then to what promises to be another fascinating Spanish Grand Prix. A race which saw Max Verstappen win on his first ever appearance with the Red Bull team in 2016. This after the dramatic coming together of Lewis Hamilton and Nico Rosberg on the first lap. Will we see more moments for the scrapbook here today? It's a sellout crowd of 140,000 here today as we await lights out for the 730-metre sprint down to turn 1 of this 2.9-mile racetrack. Overtaking is challenging through these 16 corners, but there's still a lot of high-speed excitement to be found, including the flat-out turn 3 and the terrifying blind right of turn 9. With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Ricciardo, Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, and Norris, Perez, Tsunoda, Russell, and Lance Stroll, Gasly, Fernando Alonso, Robert Schwartzman, and Joe, Bottas, Mr. Monaco, Esteban Ocon, and Nicholas Latifi, Giovinazzi, Mazepin, Mick Schumacher, and Christian Lundgaard. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
Finally, Jeff, pretty much bang on with our expectations here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Round 2 of the year, we want to try and keep the points tally going, but Spain, of course, a very, very difficult track to overtake at. So we'll wait and see what we can do here today. Meant to be getting quite overcast towards the end. Fingers crossed we don't get any rain in today's race. But yeah, starting P16, we've got a long way to go before we get towards those points. We can see Schwartzman just in front of us. But let's dive in then to the Spanish Grand Prix. Round 2 of the year, we had a good run of form last time round. It's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go, responding pretty well actually to the lights. So we head down towards turn 1 there. Giovinazzi, I think, down around the outside of both myself and Valtteri Bottas here, braking nice and brave in towards turn 1 there, just slotting in behind our teammate. Don't want any contact with him there as we go right around the outside of Guan Yu Zhou through turn 2 there. Good little move, if I do say so myself. But look at that, the Chinese driver coming straight back at us on the exit of the corner there. Again, trying to be brave, don't want to go into the back of our teammate here early on. Hoping Schwartzman can actually make it to the end of the Grand Prix here today. As we'll just calm it down a little bit as we head through the bottom of the hill there. Just slam the door on Guan Yu Zhou and up 2 spots off the start there. Look at that, Schwartzman trying to look around the outside of Alonso there. Gasly gets all kind of loose and lively as we head back up the hill, as we head through turn 9, getting all over the curbing on the X there. Desperately don't want a mistake, but it is a Ferrari that leads at the moment. Schwartzman a little bit early on the brakes there, just Constantinaing up. So we'll have that. Thank you very much, buddy. I'm the one that pays your bills still. At the end of the day, as much as I want to battle you as best as possible there, as someone went all kinds of loose. I think that was Zhou running very, very wide through sector 3. He'll have lost the place to Esteban Ocon there, but up 3 spots off the start. Whoa. Big kick of oversteer out the final corner. Charles Leclerc leads the way at the end of lap 1. But yeah, up 3 places, pretty happy with that. The AI really do seem to be able to switch their car and tyres on very, very early into a Grand Prix. It takes me a few laps to get into the groove. As you can see, we are losing a bit of time to Fernando up the road. But also we've got to remember the strategy here today. A lot of guys, actually no, because I think it rained in Q2 and Q3, so maybe the top runners are all on the mediums. So we might see what happens with the strategy, but I think they might have been given a free pass. Into the end of lap 4, still really struggling early on. Try and get this car into the window. We might have to play the team game here and let our teammate Schwartzman back through at this stage of the Grand Prix. See if he can try and catch us up to the guys in front there. We're losing a good second a lap to Alonso in his home Grand Prix. And there goes Schwartzman. We're not going to put any sort of defence up there as all. He actually comes across me in the braking zone. Have we got away with that? Front end feels okay. Of course, with a little bit of dirty air. Maybe a tiny bit of damage there, but yeah, not too happy with that from our teammate. We'll keep our head down and try and hang with him. Oh, we got yellow flags out. Who's got issues? It's one of the Red Bulls. So we've seen already 1 Renault, 1 Honda, and 1 Mercedes power unit go up this year. Is it Verstappen? Is it Perez? It's Sergio Perez out of the Grand Prix. And there he is. Oh, a big slide there as we get accidentally quite a good view of the Red Bull at the side of the road there. Another power unit failure though. Why is everyone struggling so much Jeff's just come over the radio saying Gasly now with issues as well, so another Honda power unit clearly struggling here under the Spanish sun. But fingers crossed that can help us get a little bit closer to the AlphaTauri. Maybe he can slow Alonso down for us. Well, that answers that pretty quickly. Gasly not able to hold Fernando Alonso at bay, but hopefully now Schwartzman and I can start gaining in on him. That's not where we want to be. Lucky to get away with that one without losing a spot, as Ocon still hounding us. There goes Schwartzman on Gasly as they head back down towards turn 1. Don't think Pierre's going to be able to do too much about that one. So we get a bit all loose through the first corner there. And yeah, Schwartzman clean around the outside through turn 2. Surely can't be long before we're getting past Pierre as well. So I think looking at it then, the top runners are all on the mediums as well there, which unfortunately means for us, the likes of Aston Martin are going to have a big advantage here today. Of course, not having to worry about making the 2-stop here, but we got a good run on Pierre Gasly. Back down towards turn 1 there to the outside. We'll hold the racing line. Much later on the brakes. There's all Schwartzman. He's completely binned it and almost taken us out as well. We were lucky to get away with that one. There's been carnage down at turn 1 and the safety car's been deployed. What on earth's happened there? So unfortunately we can't get a view of what happened to Schwartzman originally. Does he get collected? Yes he does. 2 cars into the side of him. Who was that went into the side of our teammate in this Grand Prix? I'm going to guess it was the Alpine of Esteban Ocon here. You can see, yeah, he goes into the back there, and the other AlphaTauri, Guan Yu Zhou, is the one that wallops our teammate. How on earth Schwartzman binned it by himself, I will never know. But that was just carnage in the early stages still of this Grand Prix. You can see Guan Yu Zhou comes through turn 1, goes around the outside there, and completely destroys our teammate. And no doubt about it, that is a safety car there, because there has been a roadblock down in the early corners there. What on earth was that? So all the top guys into the pits then, and I was about to ask the same question. Surely we can try and go onto the hards to the end of this Grand Prix here. It's got to be worth the gamble. Have we lost some of the front wing? No, front wing's fine. But yeah, very weird from our teammate. Right, into the pits we come then. Have any of the guys behind us come in? Gasly's followed us in. I think everyone pretty much in this Grand Prix is diving into the pit lane here. So it was a good job then that our teammate Schwartzman lost all that time. Otherwise we would be behind him.
Robert in the pits.
But yeah, everyone... No, they've all gone on to softs. So is everyone else trying to do like a soft medium or a soft hard to the end? Giovinazzi's got a penalty as well. No idea what's happened there. But yeah, we're still in 11th then.
No more scheduled pit stops.
So we're in 11th trying to go to the end, and no one else here is on the same strategy as us. This is going to work out really well or really badly. Right, safety car in then at the end of lap 13. So surely these hards can go 20 laps to the end of the Grand Prix. It's going to be very difficult though over the first few to try and hang with, of course, all these soft runners there as we try and put a bit of heat into them. Light up the rears ever so slightly there, but Alonso's now up to 8th place there. I think the fellow Spaniard of Carlos Sainz up in 5th there. Charles Leclerc still leads the way ahead of the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo here, but through the final couple of corners, easy on the throttle, Matt. Easy on the throttle there, and you can see even there.
Green flag.
Oh. Massive mistake out of the final corner there. Gas is going to go straight past us. We just could not build up the temperature out of the final couple of corners there. Chronic understeer out of the final turn. Gas is going to go defensive. We'll have a look to the outside, but nothing happening there. There's even more contact this time around with Gasly there. Bottas tried to have a look at the inside, but nothing going there for the Williams driver. A little bit chaotic off the restart, but not as dramatic as, of course, Schwartzman managing to somehow pirouette by himself. Let's get our head down. We've got to try and get to the end of this Grand Prix in the fastest time possible. Luckily, we've got enough top-end speed with the battery to really defend from Valtteri Bottas off the restart here. But you can see Gasly 3.5 seconds up the road already there in just a couple of laps. Struggling, but I think we have slowly got these hards back to where we want them. But still, yeah, going to be a long old race to the end. I think we're going to be defending like crazy if things go our way. Now the real test, can we defend from Valtteri with the DRS? I think we are just about. The Williams with the Mercedes power unit just doesn't quite have enough poke down towards turn 1 still. That's a good sign for us, but we are going to have to drain a lot of battery now. Charles Leclerc out with the Grand Prix. What's happened there? So watching on board then with Charles Leclerc, the engine's gone from the lead of the Grand Prix by the looks of it there. So heartbreak for Charles Leclerc. Nothing he can do as he has to pull the car over to the outside. And how disappointing is that? Another Ferrari power unit going up. Thank God we left them for this season. Oh, there we go. First few guys in the pits on their soft tyres there. I was hoping we'd see them pit very soon in this race. just so we get a rough idea of how much time we can afford to lose in the second half of this Grand Prix there. But 15 to go. We're now up into the points here in Spain. Hopefully we can stay here. There we go, a load more cars now into the pits at the end of lap 19. Where are we going to re-emerge in this Grand Prix? Might actually be quite close to the Mercedes here. We'll wait and see. There is Lewis Hamilton in this Grand Prix. We're going to be side by side with the Merc. Bearing in mind he's on softer tyres than us as we head down towards Tail 1 there. But round the outside of Lewis Hamilton we go. The 8-time Formula 1 World Champion. And that was certainly a very brave move there. I don't think it's going to make much difference in the long run. But happy with that one. Can we lead the Spanish Grand Prix, albeit just for a moment here? So we head on towards lap 21. Top 3 are now into the pits. Here comes Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen, though. Are we going to take the lead? Yes, we are. For just a fraction of a second, Hamilton gets back up the inside. In towards turn 1 there. Clearly wants to go defensive because he's worried about what I'll do. Rent-free in his head already. There's now Verstappen. Oh, Verstappen has a look up the inside through turn 3. We get forced out a little bit wide in that situation there. Red Bull weren't strong in Sakir. Certainly have found a little bit more this weekend. As next up we've got Daniel Ricciardo behind us. I think we're going to be leaking places like a sieve towards the end. But it's just a case of how many. And here comes Daniel Ricciardo as well. Down around the outside in towards sector 3. Yeah, we're not going to try and throw away our own time here. Getting caught behind the McLaren. We'll still defend a little bit.
Gap to car in front is 4.9 seconds.
Don't think there's going to be much we can do behind Carlos Sainz this time round. Down towards turn 1. Carlos will make the move work. Again, the AI seem to make the move and then sit on the apex. As well, look at that, Ricciardo up the inside through turn 3. Reminiscent of what Verstappen did to us a couple of laps ago. So we've got Tsunoda and Norris not far behind there. We're not willing to let the Australian go, though. He probably thinks we're just targeting him at this stage. Tsunoda, they're almost into the side of us as well. Yeah, just still slowly dropping back down the order there. You can see there's a couple of seconds back and a load more midfielders. Those are the ones we probably should be looking to aim to beat. And here comes Yuki Tsunoda in the other Mercedes. Not yet, you don't, mate. And here comes Lando Norris as well as Yuki Tsunoda there. 3 wide in towards sector 3. Don't really want to get too involved in that. Let's all look at that. Lando just gets caught out there and Tsunoda pulls off the double overtake. Lando gets all kind of squirrely. Somehow holds it in the right direction. But we've got less than 10 to go now. 1 second to Alonso. We haven't really got much breathing room again. As yeah, we need to try and defend from some of these guys to keep ourselves in the points. Now it's moment of truth time. Can we defend from Fernando Alonso and his Alpine? With some ERS and some DRS here. We'll use the battery out the final corner. We've still got plenty of battery left in the car. But is the Alpine going to get close enough? Of course, now with identical power units between us. And look at that. No, Alonso can't get close enough. Back down towards turn 1. We haven't opted for a particularly low drag setup this weekend. But I don't think we're running as much aero as some other cars. This might be doable with 8 to go. Alonso, a big old run as we head in towards sector 3 again. We'll just defend the inside. Having to defend so hard towards the end there. And now Russell's going to have snuck past the Spaniard. Is George Russell and the Aston Martin going to be able to get a bigger run? Right, come on then, George Russell. Let's see what you've got in your Aston Martin then. What's his second race for the team? And look at that, the Aston Martin is gaining a lot more down towards turn 1. Is George Russell going to be able to pull off the move? He's very, very aggressive there. We get all over the curbing through turn 2 there. And George Russell has pulled off the move there. Alonso's going to try and follow him through. We'll use a load of battery on the exit of the corner there to hold on around the outside. But George Russell has now moved up into 7th place here, so we can defend from an Alpine. We can't defend from an Aston Martin, though. Learning with every lap at the moment, but with 6 to go, we can hang on inside the DRS of George Russell. We might be able to come back at him. Well, Alonso's just seen what George Russell can do in this Grand Prix, but you can see the train behind us still is just getting, well, it's not getting too much worse, but I think everyone's getting more and more impatient. Well, Alonso still nothing he can do, but George Russell, yeah, has definitely clawed his way into safety. 2 laps to go here from Spain, and you can tell Alonso now is just using more and more battery lap after lap here to try and force the error out of ourselves. We're just really hanging on through the final few corners of the lap there. There's no doubt about it. Those guys have still got way more grip than us. But then out of the final turn, we're going to completely drain the battery once more there. You can see Alonso, he drops back a little bit in the dirty air there, but just can't seem to get close enough again as we head down towards turn 1. We've got 20% though left in the battery pack before that first corner. so I don't think we're going to run out next time round as we head down towards turn 1. We've just not got to do anything stupid throughout the rest of the lap. Right, round in the final couple of corners then, about to start the last lap of this Spanish Grand Prix, all getting very much out of shape through the penultimate corner. Can we still get the run out of the final turn there? Big kick of oversteer. This is going to... It's going to put us under so much pressure down towards turn 1 here. Here comes Lance Stroll as well. And we're going 3 wide in towards the first corner here on the final lap of the Grand Prix. Who's going to come out ahead of Stroll and Alonso here? They're both still battling it out. The Aston Martin looks to have completed the move. Can we come back at the pair of them? Out of turn 3 there. Alonso round the outside through turn 3. And look like we're going to get a big old run in towards turn 4 there. Thought about sending it up the inside, but thought better of that as the back end kicks out in frustration. And nothing we could do down towards turn 1 there. We're still in the points in this Grand Prix, but heartbreaking to lose out on 2 positions on the final lap here. Are we going to see Stroll really try and go for anything else on Fernando Alonso in this Grand Prix as we head in towards turn 9 there? Hamilton makes it 2 in a row early on this year there, and it doesn't look like Stroll's going to have enough. So a fantastic 3-way scrap on the final lap of the Grand Prix, but unfortunately for us, we do come out 3rd best in that situation. I'll be a whole lot more gutted if it had relegated us down to 11th than a P10 there, but nothing we could do right at the end. Alonso, he certainly deserved that. Really did push us hard right the way through to the very end of the Grand Prix there, but through the final corner, down towards the line, it is going to be P10 there, and back-to-back points to start the year.
Alright, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
Another Spanish Grand Prix is over, and what a special race it was. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Well, the safety car completely changed the race, didn't it? It's hard to say exactly what would have happened without it, but there's no question that they came out of that situation in a good position.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So, let's review the drivers' standings. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Let's focus on the driver of the day. Anthony Davidson, who do you pick?
I have to give it to Mr. Monaco. Look at where they finished compared to where they started. It's not easy to cut through the field like that in Formula 1, so it was a great effort.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Meanwhile, a strong weekend from Red Bull this time out, and they improved their position in the championship. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula 1. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, there we are then, guys, the end of the Spanish Grand Prix. And is Hamilton 2 for 2 with 2 fastest laps as well, though? Will anyone stop the Mercedes man this year? It looks difficult to say in at the early stages there. Verstappen, though, did push him hard right the way through to the very end there, just finishing 6/10 back at the end of the Grand Prix there. Red Bull seem to be a little bit more at home this weekend. It'll be interesting to see what they can do at Monaco next time round. Ricciardo, back-to-back podiums to start the year ahead of Sainz, Tsunoda, Norris, Russell, Alonso, Stroll and myself. We were the only person to make the one-stop work in the end there, and only just made it work. Had we lost the place to Pierre Gasly, it would have pretty much just not made a difference whether we pit or not in that Grand Prix there. Ocon just misses out as well. But yeah, both Spaniards are getting into the points in their home Grand Prix, though I'm sure they're happy with that. Schwartzman probably could have had a bit more there. Probably could have finished 12th or 13th in that Grand Prix had he not made that mistake there. And just Charles Leclerc and Sergio Perez not making it to the end. So yeah, those two big names retirements did enable us to score some points once again here. But championship-wise, though, yep, Hamilton still leads the way there. Ricciardo in at P2 gets the better of his teammate Lando Norris there, 30-26. Verstappen and Sainz now tied on 24 apiece there. As you can see, Stroll down into 6th there ahead of Tsunoda, who obviously gets his first points on the board ahead of Charles Leclerc, George Russell, and we are still inside the top 10 there, 1 point ahead of Fernando Alonso as well there. Ocon's still the last driver to score, and you got both Alpha Tauris, both Alfa Romeos, both Williams and both Haas, as well as our teammate Schwartzman still yet to score at the start of the year. There, constructors-wise, Alpine as well get the jump on us. Not too sure how they've managed that, I'll be honest, but we won't worry about it all too much. Mercedes still lead the way, 6 points clear of McLaren. Ferrari still holding on to P3 there. Red Bull in 4th place there, and then Aston Martin and Alpine as well. But thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have enjoyed, do make sure you leave a like. Get yourself subscribed as well. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow, ready for the duel in the Formula 1 crown. We head to Monaco. Of course, none of these videos would be possible without the help of our channel members, so a massive thank you to the Travesty, Patrick, Chuan, David and Ben for becoming channel members. Of course, if you want to be featured in these end clips below, make sure you click that join button and you'll get access to some other exclusive perks as well.